Hi, welcome you all to the next session of macroeconomics. As you all know, we have completed with investment function, that is Keynes consumption function, determinants of Keynes consumption function, and basically the most important answer which is likely to be asked in the exam is Keynes psychological law of consumption. Whereas I'll just give you a gist of that. Whereas in that he stated that there are three laws. First one, change in, when aggregate income increases, consumption also increases, but at a somewhat smaller amount. This is because an increase in income increase this is because increase more and more of your wants and satisfy it. Therefore, less and less is spent gradually on consumption. Second one is when income increases, the increment of income will be divided into between consumption and saving at a certain proportion. This means that a part of increased income is consumed and the other part is saved. This was second statement. The third statement for that is as income increases, both consumption and saving will increase. An increment of income is unlikely to lead either to less spending or to less savings. These were three consumption function. Then we studied assumption of that. The first assumption was that the spending habits of the people remains the same. The marginal prosperity to consume more or less will be less stable. Other factors like price, population, income distribution, and so on remains the constant. Second one was economic and political condition remains normal. There should be no inflation or hyperinflation, warlike condition, or any abnormal conditions. Third one is the economy is free. The economy is free and perfect without any intervention. There is complete freedom and there is complete freedom. This was the assumption what we studied. Then there was determinants of component function, which was broadly classified into two types, that is subjective function and objective function. Basically, subjective functions factors are those factors which are stable in short run but tends to change in the long run. In that, which involves the motive of calculation, the motive of precaution, the motive of foresight, the motive of improvement, the motive of independence, the motive of pride, the motive of enterprise, the motive of avarice. In that, motive of enterprises, motive of liquidity, and the motive of improvement. Then the next one was objective factor. Objective factors are basically that factors which remain stable throughout the long run, but it is also called as endogenous or external factors which are not to be controlled or not in the hands of anyone, like money income, like credit creation, like distribution of wealth, like price and wage level, like change in the consumer taste and fashion, like windfall gains and losses, like fiscal policy, like change in expectations, like the level of consumption, consumer in indebtedness, then holding of liquid asset, then role of internal internet, then population growth, then financial policies of corporation, then social insurance, then demonstration effects, then that's it. This was what we learned in our previous session, but today we will be starting with saving function. Clear to it? Okay. Saving function is that part of disposable income which is not spent on consumption goods. सेविंग क्या होता है कि एक नॉर्मल इंडिविजुअल इनकम अर्न करता है एंड दैट इनकम इज डिवाइडेड इनटू टू पार्ट्स, दैट इज one is for consumption and other is for savings. The amount what is not used, a part of income which is not used for consumption is called as savings. Cleared? Okay, therefore since we know that y is equal to, y means income which is equal to consumption plus savings. whereas savings is equal to income minus composition, income minus consumption, where Y is the disposable income, C is the consumption expenditure, and S is the saving. Yes. Thus, saving is residue. Since saving like consumption is also a function of income, the saving function is written as S is equal to function of income. That is S is equal to F in bracket Y. उसका मतलब है S एक Y का फंक्शन है और S is a dependent factor on the function of Y, that is income. In fact, C and S are called as Paul Samuelson's as measure image concept. This means that the saving function is a replica of consumption function. Yes, saving function replica of consumption function क्यों है? So we can derive the saving function from the consumption function. If we subtract the Keynes linear consumption function, that is C is equal to A plus BF from income Y, we get the following saving function. S is equal to Y minus A plus BF, where Y is equal to where Y minus A minus BF, where A is equal to minus A plus BF, A plus in bracket 1 minus B bracket close Y. Clear to it? Okay. Hence 1 minus B is marginal prosperity to consume, since B is the marginal prosperity to save, since B is marginal prosperity to consume. Suppose we have the following consumption function. C is equal to 50 plus 0.75 Y. Then the saving function will be S is equal to Y minus 50 minus 0.75, where minus 0.75 minus 50 minus 0.7 Y. Then minus 50 plus Y 1 minus 0.75. Then minus 50 is equal to plus 0.25 is Y. Here 0.25 is marginal prosperity to save. Clear to it? Okay. Then we have, since Y is equal to C plus S and what is not consumed is save, the sum of two marginal proportion is always equal to 1. That is MPC, that is marginal prosperity to consume, plus marginal prosperity to save is equal to 1. Marginal prosperity to save is equal to 1 minus MPC, that is marginal prosperity to consume. Thus, if marginal prosperity increases, marginal prosperity to consume increases, marginal prosperity to save will fall. Now, we pass on to two most important concepts, that is average prosperity to consume and marginal prosperity to consume. Clear to it? Okay. Marginal prosperity to save and average prosperity to save. नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू सेव. इसमें क्या बताया गया है? देखो, कंजम्पशन एक इनकम का फंक्शन है एंड सेविंग इज़ ऑल्सो अ पार्ट ऑफ इनकम का फंक्शन. वाई? बिकॉज इनकम का जो हमने केन्स लॉ, साइकोलॉजिकल लॉ ऑफ कंजम्पशन पढ़ा था, उसका सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट क्या पढ़ा था? इनकम इज फर्दर डिवाइडेड इनटू टू पार्ट्स, दैट इज सेविंग्स प्लस कंजम्पशन. तो इसीलिए इनडायरेक्टली बोला गया है सेविंग प्लस कंजम्पशन इज इक्वल टू इनकम. देयरफॉर इनकम फंक्शन इज़ डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली रिलेटेड टू सेविंग्स फंक्शन ऑल्सो. क्यों? क्योंकि एक इंसान का सेविंग बढ़ता है, बट यहाँ पे क्या स्टेटमेंट क्या सेटिस्फाई करता है कि अगर कंजम्पशन लेवल बढ़ जाता है तो सेविंग्स घट जाती है, और सेविंग्स बढ़ जाती है तो कंजम्पशन घट जाती है. देयरफॉर विल एक्सप्लेन द कंसेप्ट लाइक एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू सेव एंड मार्जिनल प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू सेव इन अ ब्रॉडर एस्पेक्ट. क्लियर टू इट? ओके. एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू सेव. एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू सेव का मतलब क्या है? इट इज़ द रेशो बिटवीन सेविंग्स एंड डिस्पोजेबल इनकम, दैट इज सेविंग्स डिवाइडेड बाय एस. दैट मीन्स APC is equal to savings divided by disposable income, that is S divided by Y. Like the APC, that is average prosperity to consume, average prosperity to save also varies with the income. जैसे एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू कंज्यूम इनकम के साथ रिलेशन है और वो चेंज होती रहती है। जैसा इनकम चेंज होता रहता है वैसे ही एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू सेव भी चेंज होते रहता है, जैसे इनकम चेंज होते रहता है। देन सिंस एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू कंज्यूम फॉल एज इनकम इंक्रीजेस, एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू कंज्यूम फॉल होती है जैसे ही इनकम इंक्रीज होती है, वैसे ही as noted earlier average prosperity to save will increase with the increase in income, but average prosperity ये increase होंगी with increase in income. This happens because at low level of income people consume more and at high level of income people saves more. ऐसे क्यों होता है? क्योंकि देखो जब एवरेज इनकम बढ़ती है ना तो एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू कंज्यूम कम होती है, और जैसे ही इनकम इंक्रीज हो जाती है एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू सेव इंक्रीज होती है। क्यों ऐसे? क्योंकि जैसे ही लोग ज़्यादा कमाना चालू करते हैं तो सेविंग्स बढ़ती है, कंजम्पशन घटता है, एंड लो लेवल ऑफ इनकम में कंजम्पशन बढ़ता है और सेविंग्स घटती है। क्लियर? ओके, द सम ऑफ एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू कंज्यूम एंड एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू सेव, we can now show that the sum of two average properties is also equal to 1. We know how. Y is equal to C plus S. Y मतलब income is equal to consumption plus savings. Now if we divide all the term by Y, we get, जब हम ये पूरे टर्म को Y से डिवाइड करते हैं तो हमको क्या मिलता है? Y divided by Y is equal to C divided by Y plus S divided by Y. S divided by Y is equal to 1, where C divided by Y is APC, that is average prosperity to consume, and S divided by Y is APC, that is average prosperity to consume, or APC plus average prosperity to consume plus average prosperity to save is equal to 1, or average prosperity to save is 1 minus average prosperity to consume. Thus if an economic society consumes 75% of disposable income, that is average prosperity to consume is equal to 0.75, then it will save the remaining 25% of the disposable income. So this APC will be 0.25, that is in bracket 1 minus 0.75 is equal to 0.25. Cleared? Okay, yes. Now the next one is average prosperity to save. We know that average prosperity to save is the proportion of income which is saved by the compension. Marginal prosperity to save shows how much only extra disposable income is earned is saved. Since like consumption C, saving S is also a function of income. It is defined as the ratio of change in the saving to the change in the income. एवरेज प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू सेव का मतलब मार्जिनल प्रॉस्पेरिटी टू सेव क्या है कि चेंज इन द सेविंग डिवाइडेड बाय द चेंज इन द इनकम. Yes, thus we can express it as MPS is equal to change in saving, that is triangle S, divided by change in income, that is triangle Y. For example, if disposable income increases from 800 to 1000, and as a result desired planned saving increases by 50, therefore where MPC is equal to 50 divided by 200, that is 1/4, that is 0.25. Since only extra income is earned in largely consumed and partly saved, the sum of the two marginal proportion is equal to 1. We know that is Y is equal to C plus S. Yes, or change in income, that is Y, change in consumption, that is C, plus change in saving, that is S, or consumption in change divided by change in income plus change in saving divided by income, or change in income divided by change in income, or 1 is equal to MPC plus MPS. MPS is equal to 1 minus MPC. Thus if marginal prosperity to consume increases, marginal prosperity to save will fall. This is what the relationship is all about. Hence marginal prosperity to save का मतलब है average savings divided by disposable income, that is S divided by Y, whereas average marginal prosperity to save का मतलब है change in the savings divided by the change in the income. Cleared है? Okay. In the next problem, in the next lecture, we will study what are the determinants of saving function. Am I clear to it? Okay. Chalo, bye bye. Take care. See you. We'll meet in the next session with the next topic and the next problem. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you.